Hey everybody, welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. I am going to, first and foremost, at the top of the show, just identify the elephant in the room. And no, guys, it's not me. What happened is our special guest for today is Dr. Stevie, but she has laryngitis. Now, here's the thing, guys. Any other thing, she could have shown up for our show. I mean, if she got hit by a truck, we could have broadcast straight from her hospital room. I'm kidding around, guys. We wouldn't do that. But laryngitis is something that really, really does prevent you from being on a talk show. Am I
Mhm.
right? So we will not be having Dr. Stevie today. So sorry that you're not feeling well, Dr. Stevie. Sending you love and prayers and just healing vibrations. And we are fortunate because we will be able to have her reschedule. So you're going to see her pop up in the schedule coming forward. Dr. Stevie is amazing. She does these events that bring speakers to the forefront. And she's going to come and talk to us a lot about all of what she does. But today, Marianne was so kind and so generous to step into the spot that was made available. And Marianne was scheduled for a few weeks down the line, but she was able to advance her presentation for today. And so she's going to talk probably a little earlier than I had planned to talk about this, but she's going to talk a little bit about some of the things that are coming soon to a ladies' power lunch near you. So I'm really excited to welcome Marianne hanging out with us today. Hey, Stacy, welcome. Thanks for joining. Before we get started, why don't we have everybody just go around the room? We'll introduce ourselves, say who you are, what your business is, where you're calling in from, and why you thought it was a good idea to tune in with us today. And then we'll get started with Marianne telling us all about some of the new things that are going to be available to you as Ladies Power Lunch members. So, Stacy, who are you? Where are you calling from? What do you do? What are you excited about? And why did you decide to join us today?
So I am in Enfield, Connecticut,
Awesome.
and I am a photographer. I have been in the portrait and wedding industry for 20 years now and transitioning into travel and lifestyle.
Say a little bit more about travel and lifestyle. What does that mean?
Um, so it's more like the tourism industry side of photography. So marketing promotions for smaller New England travel companies
Okay.
to help them
Interesting.
kind of get back into the swing of things after COVID. I feel like that whole industry is struggling, and I've been in it for a very long time, and I have a degree in marketing. So I want to help the little guys get back to where they used to be.
So who's going to be a good connection for you? Like who should we know and that definitely think of you immediately?
Um, anyone in the tourism industry in New England. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been working with the Cape Ann foodie tours, any whale watch companies. I know that in the fall, a lot of resorts and Airbnb or bed and breakfast type of places do a lot with the fall leaf season,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. There's a lot of small boat tour companies, and I want to help them kind of get back on track. I did. There's like railway industry, so there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of tours that take trains through New England. Bus tours go through New England, all of those kinds of things. The Cape Ann foodie tours do exactly that. They tour restaurants.
Okay. That
They're
sounds like a
located in.
fun thing to do.
It's super fun. They're located in Gloucester, Massachusetts. So
Awesome.
Rockport, Gloucester, and they do a lot with boats, and they do nighttime cruises like sunset cruises and
Ooh.
invite the restaurants to come and present their things to their tours as well. So things like that, just the smaller companies, I want to help them get back to where they used to be before COVID and kind of put them out there a little bit more and maybe even in a new location.
That's interesting. I know we have one of our members who does beer tour. And they go to different breweries and that sort of thing here in New England. Definitely something that I think is needed and very important because one, people want to get out now. They've been cooped up in their homes for over a year. They're ready to get out and about. And so it's time for the many, many, many things that are available to be done in New England. One of my patients gave me a book the other day about just things to do in Connecticut, just Connecticut alone. And it's like this thick of a book.
There's
There's
so
so
much.
much. Yes. So I love what you're doing. I think it's wonderful. I think it is definitely supportive of the community. And so if there are members who are watching or anybody who's watching on the rewatch who wants to who wants to reach out to Stacy, feel free to do that in the Ladies Power Lunch group. All right. And Marianne, who are you? Why are you here? And what are you doing? And where are you calling from? All those fun questions.
I'm Marianne Pack, and I am calling in from the metropolis of Gover, Texas,
Not
which
so
is
metropolis at all.
not metropolis-ish. We don't even have a city hall. We're
Fun.
just a community. If it gives you any indication, my water meter is number 75.
Got it.
So anyway, I am a spiritual medium and an oracle for my spirit guides, the many. And I offer for folks to ask questions, things that are in their heart that they're concerned with, or they just want to know a little bit more about, or if they want a personal reading. So that's one of the things. That's one of my hats. And then I am a podcaster. I have the Dynamic Thriving podcast, where I interview all you lovely coaches and service providers. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. And I'm doing a new thing that I just launched yesterday. And it is called Ask the Many Live. And I'm going to try to start doing those on Thursdays, where we'll just do a Facebook Live and y'all can come on and ask questions of the many, and I'll give you a reading. So we'll take a little time to just do that.
That sounds wonderful. I am actually looking forward to catching one of those really, really soon. So I want to just take one moment to say hi to our beautiful, beautiful Ladies Power Lunch members who have joined us over in our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. Thank you so much for your ongoing, unflagging, continued support of each other, basically, because that's what Ladies Power Lunch is all about, right? Just us supporting each other. Gina says, fantastic. Your Facebook lives are so fun. Well, I feel like in life, if it's not fun, we could hit the pause or the pass button on that. So let's try to inject more fun into our lives. I try to make these evergreen, but it is the 4th of July weekend. So when I say happy Independence Day to everyone and to invite you to enjoy the weekend as much as you can. So I did a thing many of you know. I wrote this little book and it's called Grow Smarter. We are going to be leaning into our launch to mass market of Grow Smarter coming up on July 19th. So exactly 17 days from now, we're going to be in launch. And it came to me in writing this book that there is a great opportunity for us here as Ladies Power Lunch. Ladies Power Lunch is a group of women who just got together for no other reason except that they wanted to support each other. No other reason, just we're supporting each other, and not supporting each other because, I feel like Marianne or I feel like Stacy, if I support you, maybe you'll support me back. No reason like that at all, but just because you exist, Stacy, and you exist, Marianne, and therefore I will support you. No other reason. We're just here to support each other. And we have one rule in the group, and that is that we intentionally support each other. Like we get into the group and we think to ourselves, what can I do today to support other members of the group? I personally believe deep in my heart, this is not a platitude. This is not an act. This is not a performance. I personally believe that intentional, aligned support brings a life of ease and flow. But what I notice is, and I talk to a lot of the women who are in our group, so I'm not just talking off the top of my head, I'm talking about the experience of myself and of others. A lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of our group members, a lot of healers, leaders, teachers, gurus, people who are out there doing wonderful things in the world, they don't have a lot of the resources that would make their lives a lot smoother, a lot easier, and that would allow them to support more of the people that they could be out there supporting. And so my intention, we've been 8 years having this group Ladies Power Launch, and I feel like for our 8th birthday, there is an opportunity for us to look at how we've been doing things in Ladies Power Lunch in the past and to offer some things that allow us to do things even better. I know they say if it's not broken, don't fix it, but what about if you could improve upon it? Then I say, yeah, go ahead and fix it. Absolutely fix it. So I just want to remind us that the power of the collective is always greater than the sum of its parts. This is new math, guys. 1 + 1 greater than 2 every single time. I know Lynn agrees with me on that because this is a conversation that she and I have had so many times. Thanks for joining us over on Facebook, Lynn. There's room for all of us to be successful, every single one of us. Even if we had 50, 500, 5,000 photographers in our group, or 1,000,000 oracles in our group. Actually, that would be fantastic, by the way. So if you know any more photographers or oracles, just tell them to come on down because this is the place for them. But there are 7 billion people on the planet. I feel like you can find customers for every single one of us. Am I right? I think so. Sometimes I get a little pushback on this one, but I absolutely believe that struggle is optional. And I'm no stranger to struggle. I have struggled and I am not, I never hesitate to share with everybody that I have been through this. So I know, but I know that if we are aligned in our collaborations, we can help each other to make our lives less full of struggle and have more ease. And then the last thing that I would like to say, and I'm excited because I have a speaker who's coming up soon who's going to be talking to us about the mastermind and what it is and what it isn't. So watch out for that. Keep watching, the events because this is going to be great. But magic shows up when you're in an aligned mastermind. And so the magic doesn't show up every single time two people get together, but when you're in that aligned mastermind, guys, the magic that shows up is amazing. So I want to ask you, Marianne, I know you've been working behind the scenes, really, really doing a lot of work to bring something really juicy for Ladies Power Lunch. Can you share with us a little bit about what you've been doing and what's coming soon? Just give us a little peek behind the curtain.
Yes. Davia and I have been talking, and I adore interviewing you all. It sparked that last year when I started doing live coffee and convos, interviewing coaches and service providers. And so this year I started a podcast, the Dynamic Thriving Podcast, where I've interviewed many of you, and I still have many more on my list. So that made me realize I want to collaborate with you coaches and service providers, and I want to provide a platform. So I got this idea about a coaching concierge directory. And the reason it would be a concierge is because I want to help the coaching clients who are looking for coaching to have a way to find a coach that's perfect for this season of their life without all the noise of the internet, all the coaches that come through their news feed and are screaming for their business. I want them to feel that it's aligned with who they are and to help them find a coach. So it will be a personal one-on-one consultation that clients would receive, coaching clients would receive. And then I would be able to match them with 2 or 3 options 2 or 3 recommendations for coaching, and then they can go to the coach and have a discovery session and decide which one resonates most with their soul. So that's just a little sneak peek. I have a lot of categories of coaches and service providers that we're going to have. And if we need to expand them, we will, to include everybody who wants to be in this.
Awesome. So what I like about this very much is, one, it will give us an opportunity for Ladies Power Lunch to do something that we haven't done before. We have almost 2,000 members, or people who are a part of our Ladies Power Lunch list, who either come to our events or come to our retreats or are part of our Facebook community, who interact with us in some way. And wouldn't it be nice if women who are like-minded are able to have a database where they can be listed, so that the people who are looking for them can find them? And then wouldn't it be nice if our Ladies Power Lunch members were able to go to this listing and say, okay, I'm looking for this kind of service. I don't know, I need a photographer. I don't know why that just popped into my mind. I need a photographer, or I need an oracle. Let me see, who can I look for that is a part of Ladies Power Lunch? And also, the other thing that seems to happen is sometimes you choose a service provider that's not necessarily ideal for you. But if you had support in making that decision, support in making that choice, it could be really, really beneficial. And then what about on the other side? What about the provider? Sometimes you have people who are coming through and taking up the space of your discovery calls. And is it just me, or are there only 24 hours in the day? Maybe it's just me, but my days, maybe 24.5 hours. I don't know. It's not a lot of time in the day, but it is a lot of time if you are able to structure your day and plan your day so that you're using your time to its best advantage. So if you have the people who are taking up the space in your discovery calls, who've already been vetted, who are qualified, who are actually your ideal client stepping into your discovery call, how much easier, oh my goodness, would that just make your life? What do you think about that, Marianne? What's coming up for you there?
Absolutely. And just, we all have hired coaches,
Sure.
we all have hired coaches, and sometimes it's really hard to hear with all the noise and really decide and who. So you have to think about, the clients coming in, they may have confusion, or they may have actually coached before and it didn't work out, and now they're a little timid about it. So they want to trust someone, that someone else has vetted these people for them and will guide them to the right area to coach in. And to me, this is just a win-win-win, because the clients win, the coachees win, the coaches win, and we all build our businesses, and we make that impact, that increased impact and income. Just as Divya has always told us, this is what we need to do to grow smarter. And I love the collaboration. I know the importance of this, because as we share this directory with our groups, imagine the exponential growth, that you will be in front of more people. So it's just a great opportunity, I think, because there are a lot of coaching. When I started researching this and I looked at online coaching directories, everybody had an assessment or a survey or a tool like that for the clients coming in, but no one was really offering any kind of consultation. And I saw this huge hole in the industry. So I thought, this is where my intuitive gifts can come in, where I can help guide and direct them to a coach that would match their spirit. I
I love that. I love that. And it's interesting because, when they say when you're aligned, the thoughts flow into your minds at
Mhm.
exactly the same time. And this often happens with me and Gina Johnson, who's watching over here with us on Ladies Power Lunch. But it just happened just now because at the very same moment that you talked about your intuitive gifts, that was what was flowing through my mind. It is such a great benefit to have the person who's helping you select your service provider be 100% tapped into their intuitive gifts. We all have intuitive gifts, every single one of us. That's what I believe, but we're not all tapped in. And I do know that Marianne is tapped in. So this is just such a great win for everybody. Another thing that pops to mind for me too is that on your podcast, you are interviewing all of these service providers that are part of the Ladies Power Lunch database. And so what that means is that the people who are looking for a service provider, they can go listen to a podcast about this particular person to see if they even jive with that person or if they are actually on the same kind of page. And yes, Gina, great minds do think alike. And your mind is so great, and so is mine, and so is Marianne's, and so is everybody's on this call. So it's just a wonderful thing. Like I was saying before, when aligned minds get together, the results are exponential. So this is great. When people are out there looking for a service provider, what are some of the do's and the don'ts as an expert at this that you would recommend for people? Certainly to definitely do join Ladies Power Lunch and get on our database. That would be my first do. But what
Yes,
else?
that's the biggie. That's the biggie. Dues. If somebody's looking for as a client coming in, is that what you're asking? Okay. Um, ask questions, participate. You've got to immerse yourself in what you're interested in where your heart is going. So knowing that Ladies Power Lunch is that source of support and that collaboration, make sure that you're involved and that you come to meetings or you participate on the Facebook group so that you get to know these people, because your spirits are going to connect. Very well there are people that you meet and you just click with. It's like you have known them forever, and it's probably past life connections, but the point is you've got to make that connection. You have got to commit to being in that and engage. That would be the biggest do. Don't be shy. Ask. um Ask for referrals, ask for um help from other people who have maybe used that person as a coach. Do your research. It doesn't hurt you to do your research, but definitely ask for help.
I love that. And I agree. Ask for help. Do not be shy. And coming from me, guys
Yes.
who know me well, know that I'm the kind of person who I'll just do it. I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
I'll just do it
Mhm.
myself. I'll do mine and I'll do yours too. I'll
Yeah.
I'll just do it because I do have a little bit of that control issue, which I am working through and I'm getting much, much better for. And I am it always a work in progress, but I feel like in me discovering me and discovering the better version of me, I can share as I go along. Our dear friend Darla calls it transforming out loud. So
Yeah.
you will all bear with me, but I know that it's not easy to ask for help. It feels vulnerable, right? Last night, I reached out to one of our dear members, Aina, and I'm in the process of book launch and I needed a particular type of service to do the next thing that we needed to do. And I reached out to Aina and I said, hey, Aina, I have a question. I'm thinking about this particular service provider. Seems great. She's a member of both your community and my community. What do you think? And just being able to have somebody to bounce that idea off is amazing. Now, can you imagine having Marianne an expert who knows all these people, who's interviewed them all on her podcast, who has put together this amazing database of outstanding providers as the person who helps you make your decisions. I don't know. It feels great to me. What do you think?
Feels good to me.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. I just think this is going to be a blast. And this is supposed to be fun. Coaching is supposed to be fun. So that's what I'm.
It
Yes.
is. Absolutely. Stacy, any questions, any concerns? I'm so glad you joined because, I mean, one of the things that we always want to do when we're coming out with anything that's new for our Ladies Power Lunch community is we always want to make sure that it is what people want, that it is actually fulfilling the needs of our membership. So any thoughts, any questions, any disparaging remarks, we welcome them all, truly. And of course, over in the Facebook group, if you have questions or concerns, please feel free to drop them there as well.
I have nothing. I've really enjoyed this. It's actually my first time here, so
welcome.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to many more.
Very lovely. Awesome. Do you think that this would be something that would be beneficial for service providers that are coaches or who might be other kinds of service providers like photographers or anything else?
Absolutely. I think it's a wonderful service to offer and very, very helpful for any industry.
Beautiful,
Absolutely.
beautiful. We have quite a few comments over in the Ladies Power Lunch. Gina says, I think it's a brilliant idea. Lynn says connections are so important. I think this is going back to what you were talking about in terms of do's and don'ts of choosing your coaching partner. Barb says, definitely participate, get involved in the group, and collaboration magic happens. You know, one of the things that I have been trying to focus on over the last few months is to make sure that the prompts that I put in the group on a daily basis, that they're going a little bit beyond that surface level of connection. So yes, we want to have Wellness Wednesday and Focus Friday and, you know, Remember Monday, whatever it is that we choose to talk about. But what if we took the conversations a little bit deeper and we got to know each other, really, really know each other on a different level? And so I think the question I asked yesterday, I thought it was a fun question, and we got quite a lot of responses to it too. It was all about, what did you want to be when you were growing up? And how is that affecting what you're doing now? You know, where are you? How do you feel? What's going on? And oh my goodness, the outpouring was so great. And it helps us to get to know each other on a completely different level. And one of our beautiful, beautiful members, she always says, and she said it on our last summit, she said, you want to develop that, not just know, like, and trust, but know, love, and trust. Because when we really get to love each other, and that's my religion, by the way. It's also my political affiliation. My thing is just love. That's all it is. Just 100% love. If you look up love in the dictionary, you might see my picture right beside it. It's my thing. What if we could just love each other? What would happen then? How would our businesses thrive as a result of that, right? So I just love, there's that word again, the conversations that we're having. I love the participation that we've been having. And as like we are adding a lot of value to Ladies Power Lunch coming soon to celebrate certainly the launch of Grow Smarter and to celebrate our 8th anniversary, because that is huge. So I invite you all to just keep your eyes open and watch, because we're going to be dropping lots of fun and exciting things that are going to be not just fun and exciting for us to get together and love on each other, but also to increase our impact and our income. Thanks for joining, Marianne. Stacy, oh my goodness, I'm so pleased that you're here and I love what you're doing. And I invite you, drop a post in the group about what you're doing so people can know that they can connect with you. Want to say hi and bye to everybody who joined us over in our Facebook group. Really had a nice, robust conversation going on over there. So Marianne, I invite you to go on over, drop your links and share with the group over there. we are not done for the day, because later today we have Manda Stack, and she is going to be our special guest on Free Gift Friday. So watch out for that, and I'll see you guys on the next show. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Bye.